Welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to our coverage of Love Island UK episode 2. Is it season 7, Chris? It is season 7, isn't it?
It is indeed.
I was just trying to think then. So what did you reckon of tonight then?
Well, it was a bit of a slow burner, to be honest, Dave. You know, we sort of got the couples. There was a little bit, most of it was about Liberty and Jake won it the last episode. And we had a little bit of niggles. What I love, Dave, is they teased Chloe. And, Mr. Stating the obvious here, as you laugh your head off at, we'd done a full rundown of the contestants, and I still asked who this person was, like an idiot. This is the famous Chloe who allegedly had an affair with her boss and was outed on social. Well, she outed herself, and the family supposedly know. So she comes in as the extra girl. So we've got 6v5 now, and like you said in the last episode, the whole thing swings. The power's sort of with the guys. Yeah. What I found interesting was, Dave, it's not even a day. They've not even slept in the beds.
No.
Everyone is getting territorial. Everyone, all the girls, and Faye really seemed to dig out Chloe and the lads and Brad and stuff. She was really, yeah. And I think, to be fair, I know I give Sharon a bad press, but Sharon was quite funny because she's like, how are we so territorial? We've not even been here a day, but
yeah.
I was talking to our good friend Lauren, one on our Discord channel, and I said to her tonight, I said, it's like a territorial thing. And then we were laughing later on, and she's like, you're being territorial, because I don't know if it's a human nature thing. I always say it with Love Island. I don't know if we all do it subconsciously, and it's just built in our DNA, but they all get their protective, and I love that, Dave. I love it. And Chloe might end up turning out to be one of the nicest girls in there. I've not seen it, I'll be honest with you, but the girls might have with good friendships, but it was so brilliant. And I know it'll flip it with the lads. Some absolute hunky guy's going to come in, or a couple of them, and that'll just change the dynamic again. And that's what I love about Love Island.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
utterly predictable. I said it yesterday. The power's going to shift to the boys, and the girls are going to get all put out, and then people who weren't interested are suddenly like, oh, well, might make a bit more of an effort now. But it is amazing. It fascinates me every single time. Like you say, they met a few hours earlier, and Chloe's like, the new girl. You're all new girls.
Yeah.
It's very weird. And like you say, Faye in particular, I think she's the mean girl of the group, isn't she? She's really not happy. Got a sour old face on her when she's not happy there. But actually, the boys all went out, and, again, she's put out, and she's like, oh, they're off. Of course they are. They have a little convention. Toby goes and says, she's going to be out there on her own, so we're all going to go out there, like being the chivalrous gent that he is. He just wants to get a look and see if she's fit. But I thought that kind of interaction, I thought Chloe came off quite nice, to be honest. I thought she was going to come in like, with the real chip on her shoulder, but no, I thought it was quite interesting. I thought Jake was straight in there. He was saying, I basically went with the only blonde that was in there. A nice way to refer to Liberty there,
Well, it could have been like Brad when he went, I'll have the blue one, like he was picking fucking Skittles out or something yesterday.
Picking out a pair of jeans or something. Yeah. Oh, Brad as well. I mean, he's asking, are you interested in anyone? He's straight in there. And, I was thinking about Brad, Chris, and I think Lauren had mentioned on the Discord about Brad's shy style. We've seen this a lot with The Bachelor, haven't we? He's like he's pretending like he's really shy. And of course, Chris, up in Newcastle, right, if you go around acting like Bertie Big Bollocks, you're going to get cut down pretty fucking quickly.
Yes.
So, you have to be a bit self-deprecating, and I think that's what he is. But deep down, he knows he's a good-looking lad, and he has got a bit of an ego.
Big time, he's got an ego, Dave. And I think, look, you can have an ego when you look like that, Dave. I'm sure, you've got the looks there. And I do think, no disrespect to the other guys, I do think from my personal taste, Dave, he is probably the best looking lad in the villa by a mile. But The problem I have with the Geordies, and it was quite interesting because on Discord, Lauren was also saying to me, I don't understand the accent. What is Hannah said? Well, I tried to do an analogy, and this was a Chris analogy, Dave, but I basically said,
my word.
No. She gave me a bit of credit. She did say, which is quite unusual for my friend and me, but she did say, I said, the further north you get, the less you're going to be able to understand the UK accent. So me and you are from the north, but we're not Newcastle. Obviously, then you're going into Scotland, but Newcastle is one of that, even for us, Dave, and we're English from the UK. It's one of the hardest accents at times to understand because they have their own dialect, don't they? It's not Scottish, it's not English, it's just somewhere in between. It's really broad, strong accent. So I think that's probably where a lot of our American listeners may struggle this series.
Our American listeners, Chris. I was trying to write down all the questions, for the Horny Devil game that they had. And Brad said something. I had to rewind it like 5 times. I just couldn't get what the hell he was saying. And I'll say which bit it was, but I was like, fucking hell, I don't understand what he's saying. So, people outside the country are not going to have a clue. But all makes for you can still tell he's kind of peacocking a bit, and you can sort of pick up on that vibe from him.
You can actually, and we learned a new word tonight, Dave. So as someone who I'm early 40s. I think I'm down with the kids. I have been buying clothes recently thinking they're not my style anymore. So I'm sort of taking...
Have you got like a Vanilla Ice? Yeah. baggy bright trousers.
I've got Air Jordans with the fucking laces out of them and everything. So hang on. So I think it was Liberty said, what bait? He's a bait man or something, she said. And I was like, I don't know what that is.
Vabin, was it?
Vabin? I thought she said bait, B-A-I-T. So I did go online, Dave, like I knew what it meant. And it was something like being sexy or something. I put the analogy in the Discord, but it was just something really like slangy that I've never heard of, Dave. So we need to educate ourselves. If we're going to promote and do these shows, Dave, we're going to have to rewind the clock about 20 years and just, pretend we know what's going on.
Right. Okay. We're not going to pull that off, are we?
No. And you know what's funny though? This is nothing to do with the podcast, but I find when I talk to Jordan and like she's 20, and I do think I'm a pretty hip dad. I'm not.
Look, anyone who says that they're pretty hip are not fucking hip.
Hey, fuck you, Dave. Right, so
pretty hip,
but born a bit square. Yeah, no. When I said it, I was like, "Oh no!" Right. Anyway, so I think I'm pretty down with the kids, and Dave. That's even worse. But I do think I've got a grasp of terminology and. I know I'm into me technology, so there's a lot of things that come hand in hand with that. You're always, and we're on social media, so you follow the trends. I hate the word banter, but it's become subconscious now. And that was from the show, Geordie. Sure, everyone says it, especially on this season of Love Island. They're all going to keep saying banter, but they're all words that have come into the subconscious of the English language in the last couple of years. But some of the times I say stuff to Jordan, and she's just looking at me like, Dad, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's nothing better than a good dad joke, Dave, because they're hilarious, because I laugh at my own jokes and no one else does. But it's that cringe where you can see the cringe on the face, like, please shut the fuck up. And I think we're going to struggle with some of these, Dave, because I think as we're getting older, we're getting further and further away from some of these contestants. That's the problem.
Well, you know what? So last night I was late to the watch party, wasn't I? Because I was doing a recording, and it was all about 80s action movies. And fun facts that I pulled out in that one was that old fucking Danny Glover was 42 when he was doing Lethal Weapon.
Oh no. Okay, now that's me.
He was like, I'm too old for this shit.
Oh no. And he was playing 51. He was playing a 50-year-old in that. Oh no.
And I was like, come on, we need to hurry this up. Love Island's on.
I tell you what, I do want to say as well, though, Dave. The boys took a bit of a liking to Shannon, and I think it's no coincidence, but Shannon's probably the most natural girl there. I think her and Sharon are the only ones who don't look like they've had any work done. And all the lads
coming off quite She's
She's
coming off
nice.
quite nice, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
Yeah.
I told you I picked her out at the start. I said I think she's going to come across from the VTs. She looked quite nice on the preview one, that she as a person and that. But I think, it's no coincidence that she is au natural and all the guys were proper perving over when she was working out. Obviously, I wasn't, Dave, but yeah.
Of course you were. Yeah. Did you have your sunglasses on in bed watching it?
Well, Sam told me off the other day. She was laughing when I said about as long as Sam's not listening, because I thought she was listening and thought she heard me and she didn't, but she heard it on the podcast, Dave.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, Faye, her implants, they're so big. There's no way she doesn't lead a life raft if she goes down in a plane. Those will just keep her up, so to speak. So yeah, but I agree. Like Shannon is much more natural in it, isn't she? So I think they were perving over both of them equally, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and then
different. What was it? David Brent says different drinks for different people.
That's very true.
Oh no, different drinks for different needs.
We all have needs, David. But exactly. I think it was funny because then he flipped to the guys, and the guys are working out, and Chloe took a bit of a shine to Jake, didn't she, Dave? Old Mr. Hairy Chest Jake, and pulled in for a bit of a chat.
Yeah, but I said Jake's got a bit of a David Beckham about him, hasn't he? He looks great, but as soon as he opens his gob, I think he loses it. Yeah. And so yeah. I don't think she was that impressed. I mean, of the guys that Chloe sort of spoke to, what's she feeling on which way is she going to choose? Because that's the kind of cliffhanger, isn't it?
I think that she's going to pick either Aaron or I think Brad, maybe just for the safe bet of Brad, I think. But I don't necessarily, she hasn't really said much about him, other than that he's got the looks, but she's not sure. But I think Aaron could be the one to steal her away.
I think if I was a betting man, I'd have a tenner on Aaron. She really seemed to vibe with him quite a lot. See,
5-4 Keenel, Dave, well in there.
And so, I think they genuinely seem to have a chemistry.
Yeah,
she did say that she had like a chemistry with Hugo when she first went in, didn't she?
Yeah.
And so, but I haven't seen a lot with them two, and so I think it was more with Aaron. Now, Brad, is he a safe bet? I tell you what, at this stage, I don't think he is, because if some kind of part-time model comes in, Chris, then his head will be turned quicker than Tommy Fury.
Well, we all happened with him and Lucy, Dave, and then him and he's still with her, isn't he? Molly May.
Molly May, yeah. No, so fair play to him. Like, eventually he stuck, but remember that first week, his head was on a swivel, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I thought Lucy was the better pick for him, but he stayed with Molly May, and he's still with her now after all these years.
Yeah. I did like that gif. Did you see that one? I stuck your face on Molly May. Did you not see that?
Yes, I did, Dave. I did see that.
Right. Okay. Well, Chris. Right. So we're betting on Aaron for tomorrow night's cliffhanger. She's going to pick him, and I don't think it's not going to ruffle too many feathers. I don't think it's not like in previous seasons where people are going to get really put out. I think if she did choose Brad, it would put Faye out a bit. But no, I think she's going to go for Aaron. Now, Chris, some of the questions they got in the Horny Devil game. So the first one that came up was, she orgasms in her sleep. This is how good your memory is. Do you remember who this was?
So, Dave, I genuinely thought Liberty was the one who orgasmed in her sleep. I don't know why, but when the camera panned to her, they sort of give a clue this time and went to each contestant. She looked the most sheepish, but Toby went straight in on Kaz. And I think Vingy said I think it was Brad said, it's whoever you want to kiss the most, really. So basically, they're not bothered who wins. It's just you get a snog off the girl you want to get in there. So I think Kaz and Toby there, Dave, I'll hold my hands up. I did go at him a little bit, the old pro hashtag footballer, but there does seem to be a little bit of something there. And so far, he's come across as a good guy, to be fair.
He has, hasn't he? I mean, he's full of shit with the football thing, but, he does seem to come across like a nice lad. And there was a bit of chemistry there, wasn't there, between him and Kaz? So, So you're right, and you've seen in the past when we've had games like this, especially when we get deeper into the competition, that people get a bit put out, don't they? So even if you know they think the answer is person X, but they're coupled up with someone else, then they get all pissed off and stuff. So I think it's all a little bit too early for that. But Chris, the next one was this girl once got a sex toy stuck inside her.
I don't know who it was, Dave, but I'd love to know what that was.
So Jake, the mind boggles, doesn't it? So Jake kissed Liberty, and then it cut away to him, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think she likes tongues." It's like day two, man. Come on,
Yeah,
have a bit of
yeah.
fucking wind your neck in a bit. Um, it turns out it was Chloe.
Yeah.
And then she said, she cut away and said, "Oh, I'm a horny little devil." So, yeah, that's, I'll be pondering that late into the night, I'm sure.
And you said that out
Now-
loud, Dave, but there you go.
now, the next one was they love to start the day by sending a tit pic. Now, this is the one that Brad said, and I was like, I can't understand what you're saying. Are you speaking English?
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you remember who this one was?
It was Faye, wasn't it, Dave?
It was indeed.
I don't. Am I getting like points at the end of this, or just?
You get a no prize.
Oh, thanks. Go on, bring them on. There's one that stood out the most, and I'm going to get that one right. But go on, Dave, fire them over.
The next one is this girl has had a threesome 3 times.
Well, Dave, they got it wrong, the guys. Oh, no, they didn't, actually. I think it was one of the guys come up. It was Aaron came over and Sharon. Yeah. And she said, doesn't she? She likes girls as well, Dave. So that was interesting. Actually, we did see it, didn't we, on the Australian series, the second one where one of the girls got into the girls got into a bit of a couple, didn't they, for a couple of weeks and a couple of days probably. But yeah, so maybe
I think it was literally a day.
Not the point, Dave. It was over a few episodes. We'll just build that up better than it was. But there you go.
and you know what? Sharon does remind me a little bit of her, just in the way she speaks and everything. Because she was English, wasn't she? I can't quite remember the name, but yeah. Now this next one, Chris. This girl has had sex in the bar toilet.
I know. I think. Was this Liberty, Dave?
This was Shannon.
Ah, right.
And Toby,
yes, it was.
Toby sort of goes in for the kiss and she sort of backs away.
Oh, that was, she pied him off, didn't she? Yeah. Honestly, me and Sam watched it tonight and we're like, oh, he's pied her off. And he was gutted, wasn't he? Absolutely gutted.
That's the first pie of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, I don't think it was the last, but no. Yeah, that was brilliant. And I don't know whether that's a Kaz thing, whether she's being loyal to Kaz or she's just not into him. But yeah, that was really
I think it's the latter. I think, I mean, this is one of the reasons I'm kind of warming to her, because she's kind of like, oh, you know, some of them are like fucking straight into it, day one, day two, and she's sort of like just taking her time with it. So fair play to her. Now, next one, Chris. Then Nana walked in on him having sex.
That was wasn't that the guys or is that the girls? Is that the girls?
That's the guys.
Oh, the guy, was it Brad?
It was Brad.
Brad, yeah.
I don't know why. I kind of had a feeling it'd be Brad as well. Now, this big one. So this boy has got a massive foot fetish.
Well, we know who that is, Dave, because I think when Aaron was sucking Kaz's toes, I think this person was getting rather excited, and that was Jake.
Was he getting
Dave.
some stirrings in the loin? Was he?
if it was the VHS Strikes Back or the Comedy Motion, I'd say something else. But yeah, he definitely got some stirrings, Dave.
It was funny when the lads were going down into the ice bath, and it's all like, oh, it's a bit cold, and trying to stretch it out, like
yeah. We've all
major shrinkage.
Dave, we've all been there. He literally goes inside when it's that cold.
Now, this boy once had sex in the middle of a road.
Oh God, right, hang on. I should know this because I've only just watched it. Right, this is the problem. Is it Aaron?
It was teacher Hugo.
Oh.
And I wonder if he'll be going back to his job.
Dave, he's not getting any girl in there. I'm sorry. I'm going to be surprised. He's too nice a lad. I don't think he's going to get anywhere.
Well, you say that. So I'm going to come back to this one then, because this boy once snogged 10 girls in one night.
And that was Hugo.
That was also Hugo.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, I was thinking, do you reckon that was a school disco?
Whoa. Hang on a minute. now, you fucking teed me up there. Now, as a teacher, it goes two ways. I hope to God it was when he was 16, Dave, and not the fucking recent school discos, because then we will have a fucking completely different show on our hands.
I thought, fucking 10 girls. I don't understand how that's even possible.
No. I'm not saying anything, Dave. That's just it's a rabbit hole. Even we can't go down.
It's a genuine question, because like, you know, I don't know, probably don't want to get sued. It's like, oh, hello, sir.
Come and see me later about your homework. But anyway, right, move on, Dave, for God's sake.
Now, this boy once had sex in a car park.
Ooh, wow, risque, Dave.
I know.
Was this Toby?
Was it a car park? I think my autocorrect here, wasn't it a kitchen? It was Toby was the answer.
Yeah, Toby, yeah. Oh my God. That's not exactly risque though, Dave, is it?
No.
So, unless he had sex in the middle of the afternoon when cars were going past him or something. He's not exactly like, you know.
Now, this is the last question I've got, Chris. This boy describes his shortest sex session as blink and you'll miss it. And the answer is not Chris Phelps.
I was going to say, it's pretty much every man on the planet, Dave. Every man put their hand up going, it's me. Yeah.
I'm sure we've all been there at one point or not.
I'm not saying anything, Dave, but keep on. I'm going to go with... oh, God, right, let me think. Right, hang on.
Do you want a clue?
No. I think it's Jake.
It's Brad. The clue I was going to give you was, I was talking about the self-deprecation before, wasn't I?
Yeah.
You know, it's quite a Geordie thing to do, isn't it? So,
yeah.
You know, I guessed at Brad for that one.
Yeah, good call, Dave.
But great. I mean, I've seen a few comments, Chris, that like, oh, this is not like Love Island season 5 or anything. You know, it's so dry, everyone's boring. But it's episode 2, isn't it? This is just, you know, this is all table setting, just getting them all ready. You know, it's very, very early. And I think all the seasons start off with that. People don't go straight in for the drama.
No.
You know, it tends to be like more kind of week 2, doesn't it? And then bubbling up to Casa Amor. And then you get into peak drama then, aren't you?
Yeah, and there's nothing better than a solid couple being truly in love. They're going to buy a dog, a cat, a TV. They're going to get a car. They're going to get married, Dave. And then somebody comes in with nice teeth, a nice set of legs, and this is man or woman, and they literally just abandon them and go, sorry, I don't know who you are. And we get the shitstorm of this person is a bastard, or this person, you know, I love it, Dave. From a moral point of view, a moral standpoint, it's awful. For Love Island, it's fucking fantastic. So I cannot wait.
It absolutely is. Now, Chris, how can everyone get in contact with us?
I want to have a big thank you to our listeners, as always. Big thanks to everybody. Our patrons, patreon.com/CD Reality Cast. And we do have a new patron, Dave. We have the wonderful Mr. Hennessy Green, who is a friend of ours over on our Facebook page, which is also run by our great friend, Charlene. So thank you very much, Charlene, as always. We do really, really appreciate you. Get over there. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast, guys. And so now we have 5 patrons, Dave, on the drum roll. So we've got Hennessy Green. We've got the wonderful Haley, who joined us recently. We've got Tracy as well. She's joined us in the last week or so. We've got Lauren, we've got Lucky Lulu Green, and we've got Kent Gustafsson. So thank you guys, as always, for supporting us. And thank everyone else. We really appreciate it. All the emails, all the messages are great. If you do get a chance, please get onto your podcast catching app and drop myself and Dave a review on the show. We love them and we'll read them out. Good, bad, or the ugly. It's all about what we do. And yeah, great. And if you want to follow us on social media, at CD RealityCast on all social media. And if you want to email us, the cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So, Dave, I will see you next time, my friend, and I'll see everyone else tomorrow.
Cheers, Chris. Bye now.